Good morning. I just told everybody the reason we are delaying because after 3 days holiday, so even the system is down. So we are bringing up system, everybody is coming back. So we apologize for the delay, but it happens, It was probably I didn't have to set up this meeting for this Tuesday just after holiday. It would have been a few days. But so if you don't know me, probably you know me. I'm Ali Mokarachi. I'm a director here at NOACA, and I'm managing this project. And so one couple of things, if you want to, because there are some other people listening on the YouTube, if you are want to talk and you want to, I would like you to give me a feedback. So please speak on the microphone, otherwise they won't hear it. And then you press this touch it, and then it's be recorded and it will be, so they can listen. People outside who are watching the YouTube, they won't be able to participate, but they can listen. So once you if you turn off, because these are sometimes the funny goes down, the battery goes down and just silent. Anyway, so thank you again for coming here and listening. This is our third fee structure, because this is the meetings we are trying to get. The whole purpose of this, end of the day, we want to as I always said, is like a gas station. The prices and the charges you're setting in our region should be very similar, close to each other, because similar to gas station, there are some people pay $2.50, some people $3, but there's no $7 and $1. It's something around about $2.50, $3 now. But if you go to that certain, and you have got some special credit card, you might get a little bit cheaper, but at least it's a range of, that's what we are trying to achieve. At the same time, you know that you have to have you will see in the slide, break even. So these are based on that. We decided when we started this project to have a meeting every 6 months and exchange like a forum, user forum, and exchange ideas and exchange the pricing issues and how much we are going to charge and how it's doing with the economic, how we have problems. We have got all this just coming and discussing the issues we have got. Okay, so to start with this, I'm a very short presentation. I don't want to do the long presentation. I just want to start with something, then we can discuss, and if I can answer your questions. If not, I'll take this. The meeting is recorded, so we can listen and come back to you for the answer to the questions you asked. So this is, as I said, this is a May 2025, the EV fee structure. Based on the partner agreement we have, and you have signed, or your mayor or your council man or anybody has signed from your community, we need to get the goal is to have a break even. As you know, we don't install in the private land. We install this EV charging based on the FHWA rule. We have to install this in the public land, and therefore there's no, the community shouldn't be any revenue, any make a profit out of this. It should be break even, is maybe first few years, but after 5 years, based on the agreement we have got, and you have signed it, it should be a break even. So how much is going to defeat us a difficulty? We are trying to, by these meetings and exchanging ideas, then we are going to get there. So as you see on the slide, the charging fee should be equal to electric charge, operatings, and maintenance. So last time we had the longest slide that we discussed all this. If you were here, you saw that we discussed, but we believe is the expenses of these three items, and the revenues are charging fees. So this should be equal to each other in the end of the 5 years. You won't be able to see, but that's the updated one in terms of what we have installed. And recently we have advanced. Some of the delays are because of the First Energy. Some of the CFC fast charging need a special, 480. transformer, and some of them we didn't have, and the First Energy took a little bit time to install it. But if you see the last, not the column before the last, is mostly installed. And here and there, a couple of sites we haven't started yet, but most of them we are going towards the probably next end of the June. We are going to, most 90% will be done and installed based on the 40 sites we had in the beginning of this project 2 years ago. I mean, there are several, a few of them which the mayors called us and they sent us email and they agreed they didn't want it. So what you see on the purple sign is a cancellations, but the rest is almost done. Now, and the last time when we were, in here 6 months ago, I requested some people to send us, when they do the install, they start charging, to send us some information on how this, the transactions you get from the charger, so we can exchange here. I appreciate Andrea sent me this one very, very early stages. So that's one L2 installed in the Lakeland, the community Lakeland Transit, and is charged 24 cents for kilowatts. And this is just as you see from the date, is just March and April, I believe. So then I've got another one, Tracy. David sent us this. So I'm just showing you, the transaction. You will see this when you install it, when user comes, you will see all this, and you can go to the only people I think is Flow can have access to this, and you have access to this to see the charges and to see who charged, what happened, what time, and all those kinds of things. Now, I go back to the previous slide. When the first time I received this, I was looking at this Excel file and change it to Excel file and was looking at this, and you realize they are different, 24 cents something. And I thought maybe it depends on the time and depends on what people, how people, if they charge it for 6 hours, they get cheaper or something like this. Then I talked to Flo, and Tom, I'm sure now is online. Tom told me it's not. Is that the way they pay transaction happens? Some people use credit card, some people pay online. Then that charges 50 cents charges is applied to some people who pay at the port, or some people in advance they pay. So the difference what we see on this, I'm sure you know that. I didn't know. I thought is a, so some of them, is a different charge, and people, if they stay 2 hours, they get less charge, or half an hour, they get more charge. Then when I talked to Flo, I said, is that true? The guy said, no, you're wrong. And I realized most of the time I'm wrong. So I'm glad he told me I'm wrong. So then he said to me, no, depends on the payment. It's like if you go to get your driving license. It happened to me a few weeks ago when I was charged, updating the driving license. The guy said, if you want to pay by check, no charge, but if you pay credit, 2.95 is charged. So that's same things apply here. Depends on what type of the card or how you pay for your transaction, the user pay for the transaction. That extra is the 50 cents. Sometimes extra is for this kind of type of the transaction and type of the payment. So the other issue we are looking into is last time there were some, last time there were some people, some of the users, they brought to my attention into high charges for DCFC for a warranty, because when we install the charger, you have automatically from the Flow, has got 2 years, like you buy any equipment, like you buy a fridge, freezer, you have got warranty from the manufacturer, but it's 2 years. Now, we are asking you for 5 years, according again to the partner agreement, to have a 5 years maintaining this charger. Then there's a conflict here. Legally, we can't ask for 5 years and provide 2 years. Basically, that's the difference. So Then when somebody brought up, especially you see on there 14,600, the warranty charges for performance. Then I asked, again, search through this, because this is not only new for us, new for the board, new for the committees, everybody is a new. So I asked them what's the, why is it 14,000 and all this? They said some of them, the council and the community didn't approve it because of the 14,000. So we went back and I talked to our executive director and I said, there's a problem here. Not only 2 years, 5 years, we have got high cost. It's not firstly, I thought it was about something like $900 or something. And even a couple of people called me and I explained to him, and I said, if you add 25 cents to each hour of the usage, then it's going to cover 900 within, every year. There's nothing to worry about. But when they came here and they told me, no, it's not a 900, it's a 14,000. Then I said, okay, there's a problem here. So we talked to the flow and we talked to the ODOT in terms of the budget and what is in terms of FHW is going to cover. After some back and forth the last few months, they told me, no, the performance warranty is not covered by the project. What is covered is a basic. We can extend it to 5 years, which you can see, for example, for L2 is a $240. For the DCFC is a $6,160. So we have already paid 2 years on the project. When they installed DCFC, the project pays $1,500, and we are trying to find the difference between about $4,000 for each DCFC and about a small amount, $200 for the L2, so we can cover the basic. So project can pay for it, and we can cover for the 5 years of the basic warranty. Now, basic warranty covers, if you look at the Flow website, basic, and I'm just summarizing what I read there, is basically is just that, anything goes wrong with the equipment, they come and fix it, and they are supposed to do it in a 24 or 48 hours, something like this, they come and fix it. But performance is when somebody goes there, unfortunately, and cuts the cable and vulnerabilization, all this, those are not covered by the base, those are covered by performance. And we did, according to our discussion with the ODOT and the FHWA, that's not covered by the project. So if somebody goes there and cuts the cable, or a car hits the charger by accident, rather than after charging, rather than reversing and put the gear and comes and hits the charger, that's not covered. That's a performance. But that's something. Then, what basic is, if something goes wrong with the equipment, something is, it doesn't work or something, that's the covered, and we are trying to get to 5 years that, so you will have cover for 5 years based on your partner agreement. We can come back to discuss this one. Now, still we carried on this sample of how we calculated the fee, and we come up with different numbers, and some people ask me how much they have to charge. So 45 cents, 24 cents, you can see this is a sample of the Excel file. I calculated how much is gonna be and how much is gonna cover the maintenance and operation cost. The other source for the setting up the fee is the Flow website. It's got different type of the chargers, and whether it's a flat charge, whether it's a curve, and you can do it as, you can reduce it as charges the number of hours it goes. So depends on what equation they use. They have in the Flow site, you will see the website, it has got this information to help you in terms of setting the fee. But generally, when we talk about maintenance tasks, we are talking about visualized inspections. Obviously, staff time is a part of this. If you assign somebody to go and check this, and cleaning, charging software, charger software update, testing, all these kind of things, it takes time, and your staff time should cover. And this is part of the maintenance cost, which should be covered by the fee. And the other issues you have got, this is again from the sources of we have got from website or the FHW, you can do that. Then, as I mentioned, the site host responsible for the maintenance and that cost, then based on what we gathered from website, we are talking about $400 annually, roughly around about that number, which again, it should be paid by the fee when user comes. You have to look at the end of the day when you get the, how much you have charged, how much you have to pay. That to get the break even, you need to have something like $400 or whatever is the number of hours, the staff hours and everything you put there, you should cover that cost as well. These are the websites. We will send you this presentation after after this meeting. These are the websites you can go and look at the charges from the flow or from FHW and other additional resources. You can look at this, and again, as you see, we plan to review and revisit after 6-12 months again to check this as we are doing every 6 months, the conversation, these meetings. And so these are the ones, as I mentioned, is a short presentation. I would like to discuss and see what the issues are and how we can go forward.
Is anyone here already connected, or you guys all in the same boat trying to figure out how much to charge?
We're late, we're connected. We've been since October. And Lake Tran and Lakeland Community College are partnering together for our site. And the director of facilities at Lakeland was like, I want it at this price. And he had talked to his peers at Lorraine Community College, I think Tri-C, and they had already agreed to set the price at 24 cents per kilowatt hour. And, Lake Tran is agnostic on that. So that's what it's set at.
The 24 cents is for the L2.
Yes.
For the fast charging, I think, anybody here, 45, is that right?
Yes, so I'm with LCCC and we're actually at 26 cents on L2, so we're not exact, but we're close.
Yeah.
And we compared data and we're at 48 cents on the DC fast charge. And I did pay the full performance warranty, so if anything's negotiated after the fact, it'd be nice to get a credit.
Yes, we will if we passed our finance committee, because we have to go to our committees to get the approval, and I'm going to take it to the 13 June board meeting if they approve this. So we look see how we're going to pay for it, and the cover we ask for 100,000, is a public record, 100,000 for this budget for the warranty. If we get this base, if you are paid, we can reimburse you in the. But what your first point was a 48 cents and 26 compared with the
26 for the
26 and 24 and 45. So that's exactly what I meant. It's not, shouldn't be exact. By end of the year, probably David is going to change it to 47 or something. But at least we are talking about 45, 24, 25. This is it's not a 24 cents and Rio charges 24 cents, somebody else charges 75 cents. That's not the case. It's a 24, 25, 26, depends on now. That 2 cents is probably for the warranty to cover that, or other charges you have got, other costs you have got. That's very reasonable. That's exactly what I'm trying to get there.
So do you think the DC fast charge is reasonable? Because I didn't see any, my peers didn't have a DC fast charge.
No, based on my calculation is yes, it's about 45, range of 45, 47, 40, that kind of sense. Depends on again. I said $400 annual maintenance fee, but it depends on again inflation, depends on how much you pay for your staff, that kind of things, who you are assigned, whether it's a high paid senior member of your committee or whatever is it.
Parma, we've had ours up since February. on the L2s, we're at 14 cents a kilowatt hour. On the DCFCs, we're at 40 cents. So it sounds like we're a little bit low compared to what everybody else is looking at.
Yeah, 40 cents is okay, this 40 cents, but 14 cents,
And in talking with Flo, I mean, that was kind of one of the suggestions that they had given me was around that 14 cent area on the L2s. And it looks like everybody else is quite a bit higher right now.
well, we see in the end of the, next 6 months, when all this, all comes from the comparing the L2s and the comparing the DCFC, we see how much it costs then to get the break even. Probably either you have to increase a little bit or Lake County should bring it down, something like 20 cents, you bring it. So it depends on, I mean, this is just, nobody is right, nobody's wrong. It's just, we are trying to get to the, point when we can say after, it's difficult, always the initial solution is not a perfect, but we can optimal it when we come to the, after 6 months. When you look at the chargers, how much the First Energy is going to charge you, then you pay for the utility bill, then you look at that and you say maybe 14 cents is a bit low, let's make it higher, or maybe 24 cents is high, let's bring it down. But you have DCFC as well, I believe.
We have one DCFC and that probably gets used 4 to 5 times more than the L2.
Yes.
They use the DCFC like crazy.
Well, we are on the second phase of this project, which we are delayed a little bit, but we are starting. Most people asking for DCFC. Most the communities when we talk with, so that's a little bit costly for them, but at least, they're asking for the DCFC. I can realize is it, but L2 has got his own, his own application. If somebody like myself, if I come here in the morning and I leave in the afternoon, if I have the EV, then I can put it here to charge it. I don't need to pay 6-7 hours, to pay high for the, I'm here for 7, 8 hours, 9 hours, so it doesn't need it to be paid hard. But some people are passing by, they stop, they want to charge. Depends on location. We did this study in 2019 about the finding where we can put the DCFC more, it's better to put it, L2, for example, employment sites, and the DCFC close to the highways and interchanges, and where people can pass through and they can stop half an hour, charge the car and go. So that's sometimes some of the locations actually attractions rather than, people come and use that freeway because they say there's a charger here, so we can charge and we use that one. So that's something in the, but anyhow, both of them, whether it's L2 or whether it's a DCFC is is useful for the, depends on the application, it depends on the location. It will be interesting to see if you increase your 40 cents to 45 cents, 46 cents, it still is going to be more people,
We're undoubtedly gonna raise probably
Yeah.
both of them, but the usage that we're getting on these, well, we've got 2 L2s and 1 DCFC. I mean, the usage is amazing. I mean, there are cars out there all day long. We have people that somebody must live in the area. They'll pull up, park their car at night, leave it there overnight, and they come back in the morning, but there's constantly people at these charging stations.
My earlier, a year ago, 2 years ago, presentation was about this, compared to the gas, chargers is much cheaper. That's what people, why they buy EV, then they realize they can charge it cheaper, and so then they come and charge there. So
Do any of the ones who are up and running, do you charge an idle fee?
Say, we do in Lakewood because we were having issues with people, especially would park, like people that live by Lakewood Park or whatever, would just plug their car in and be there for 12 hours. And then also we have one right off of 90 at Winterhurst, which is, we're averaging like 400 to 500 sessions a month. And that's a DC fast charger that everybody kind of coming east and west on, they're like fighting over the spots. And so we have a 2-hour limit for the DC fast charger and a 4-hour limit for the level 2 charger. And so it's anytime you go over that, it's an additional $2 an hour. And I watched it when we put that in place. I mean, our rates have been in place since March of 2022. So you had a couple people that got hit with like 20 hours of idle fees and they never did, because most of our chargers are on ChargePoint and there's a little bit more data. You can pull the unique IDs. And so I could track the same person through a unique ID and they wouldn't make that mistake more than like once. So it does help to keep the turnover going, especially at some of our like the parks and stuff like that, so.
But I have to say, you had charges before this project. You had charges for yourself. You had, I know Lakewood is a,
We did, yeah, and we've been slowly growing. I think in 2022, when we started, we had 13 ports across the city and now we're up to 20. And then we have the 21 with the Flow charger at the high school, so.
You mind sharing your rates?
So when we started, I did my own kind of analysis that took about 6 months for city council, but very similar, I think, to where you guys ended up. We have a base electricity fee. We go per kilowatt hour to cover our own rate. And then based on like the life cycle costs for warranties coming up over, and then the distribution charge from First Energy to get the power there, that came up with about 24 cents for a level 2. And I used that same rate for both DC fast charging and level 2 because the power costs the same. So I did not differentiate between DC fast charging and level 2 in terms of the cost. It's all 24 cents per kilowatt hour. And then we have the idle fee, the $2 idle fee that sits on top of that. And that's the only one that's different just based on, and that was based on our data because we've had chargers going back to 2019. So I had like 3 years of data on usage that I used to come up with the 2-hour and the 4-hour time limits. And just, if you go in the manufacturer's deal, like how long should it take a level 2 charger to like for a complete charge I mean, no one should be sitting on a DC fast charger for more than 2 hours. I guess the good thing coming out of this is that if other communities are differentiating between DC fast chargers and level 2, I probably need to go back and take a look at our warranty costs especially on the ChargePoint side for our DC fast chargers. If I need to bump ours up, that's probably a good thing to do. So.
but do you get the break even between the charge and all this?
I really haven't had to do that yet. But we've been accumulating money and this all goes into our parking fund is where all the EV charging, because that was part of when I did this in 2022, we updated our parking code to include EV chargers so that police and parking enforcement could actually like write tickets for people that are like parked in an EV space that are not actively charging. So we had to update our enforcement code. And so but I need to go back and make sure that we're going to break even, but because we've never had an issue. I've had to, it's almost every year now I'm having to, you get to update like your cloud fees, your warranty fees, like as the things come up, I've just got to keep it, get it back up, get back into it. So.
Is it possible to charge an idle fee on Flow? Because I have it pulled up and I can only set a price like per session, per hour, minute, per hour graduated. Like I don't see a way to differentiate if there's an idle cost that you can set. I'm literally on Flows.
Should be applicable 18 hours at least to everybody. but we had some question about the process of process become some people can pass the car there. Then let people, allow people to charge, then, that's, if he said we want to put an idle fee of some kind of penalty to, after the car is charged, they have to remove the car and give opportunity to somebody else charge it. I will ask Tom how you can set up this. Yeah.
Our charger is installed and electricity is hooked up, but we're still having a delay in trying to get our system set up with Flow.
Some document, they send it to you?
They haven't responded.
Okay, I have to talk to see what, I mean, I think we discussed, when was that we discussed and we said we're gonna do. They were supposed to send you some paper in website, I think they,
Yeah, we haven't gotten it yet. We got just some informational stuff, but nothing to set it up yet. So ours is there, but nobody can use it yet.
would you mind if you send me an email so
Yep.
I can follow up with a alternate and
Yeah.
then that people see what happened? Because I told them once last week and they said, you know who I'm talking about, the
Mhm.
alternative guys, they said today they're gonna send it to you. I'll follow up. If you send me an email
I will.
so I can do that.
All right, thank you.
Any more concern, questions? The project is a bit, this current contract is gonna finish by August, and we are hoping that to install all the, projects with all the sites by end of the beginning of the August we have got. And the contractor was supposed to, he told me he's gonna come, but he didn't. So probably he's listening. So this is gonna be by end of the August. The second phase is gonna start after we are doing some work on the second phase, and we're gonna start because there was some 90 days delay on this. So we are going back to this. But phase 2 has got two things different. One is that we have to install 4 chargers in the same location. Like you have got 20, we have got 4 chargers in the same location, whether it's a DCFC or L2. And the other thing is a 20% contribution from the community. This one was using what's called the CMAQ fund. This one covered everything, but the other one is not. It's 80-20, so 20% match from the community. So that depends on there was a letter we sent, an invitation we sent. So some people sign and send it back, and they went to their councils, and they got the budget for it for this next year. And they said they were okay. Some people, they said they have to go to the council and get the agreement for 20% of the, their contribution.
Did you say the CMAQ funds covered the basic warranty?
Basic warranty. If we have got the budget, we have got a couple of sites canceled. We have got the money. If money left there, we want to, we are trying to use it for the, for the warranty. But if not, we come.
And we have the L2, is that, and it was at 240 or something?
L2 is not a difficult. L2 is the 2 years covers about something like I think the project pays something like 240 as well. It's not a big
Okay,
deal.
yeah.
The main issue is
That's
the,
a one-time fee? Or
yeah,
like-
one time. No, one time.
For the 5.
But the other one is the one I'm talking about is 5 years
Yeah,
basic
the big-
warranty. That's
Yeah.
several thousand. That's the difference is about 4,000. That's the main issue, which has got the, as I said, I was talking to a lawyer here, and they told me that a little bit of a legal issue. It doesn't, that's nothing from our side. It's not, but it's not, we are not separate. We are same community. We
Yeah.
are trying to get this project and to be the pioneer on this. When we started in 2019, we wanted to be a pioneer in MPO in the region and looking, providing this kind of thing, encouraging that's why we use the CMAQ fund for this. So it's not, I'm just saying in terms of the legal, there's no problem with any legal issue with us, but is helping the, people. They didn't expect this. Now suddenly 4,000, 6,000 something comes up and okay, there's
Right.
not a, so they have to go through the budget and through all this. We are in the same boat in terms of the government organization. We know what you are, and same thing with us. Yeah, I can't get up tomorrow morning and decide something. I have to go through the committees, finance committees, and get the agreement. Like now, I'm waiting for the board meeting to approve this so we can pay. So same thing with the communities, with the cities and the councils. They have to go through this kind of, procedure. So we are trying to help each other, and we are trying to help you. That's all we are trying to do.
Do you give the do you give the opportunity to go up to the $900 and then we provide our own money for it? That's it. Okay. And then we can run that into our,
You can, you are the owner of the charger, and you talk to Flo if you want to increase it, like what Dave said, is that you can increase it to 5 years, 10 years, whatever
right,
you,
right.
that's your, but we are trying to help you in terms of the 5 years performance so we can get there. But if you want to get to the
I don't
5
mind.
years, you
Fix
can
it.
do that.
I just want it taken care of. It's.
Yeah, exactly.
Any
Well, and I didn't-
vandalism, anything, it's all taken.
Right. I didn't know if it would fall under insurance too. Like, could you have that as your property's insurance?
Well, our deductibles. Not
Huge.
really-
Yeah, this
not
makes way more
close,
sense.
right. Yes,
Yes, performance covers
haven't-
everything.
had a claim, but they say, yes. No, I have not. But yes, vandalism or accident, anything's that's covered in the performance warranty. Question about phase two, you mentioned 4 chargers at one location. So is that 4 L2s or is that 2 L2s?
We have got 3 types, 4 L2 or 4 DCFC or combination of 2 each. But it should be 4. The contract on the FHWA, the grant says 4 chargers in one location.
Well, the L2's got 2 chargers. That's why I was just curious, right?
Yeah. You're talking about unit, the difference between unit and port. We are talking about
Okay.
port, 4 ports, yes.
That's why I just wanted clarity on that. Thank you.
I mean, the fast charging has got two cable as well. It can use by 2, but
But those can't be used at the same time.
because we are installing only 1, because that cost goes higher. If you put 2, the equipment inside should be changed and everything, so that's cost more. But generally, yes, we are talking about 2 ports and maybe 1 unit or 2 units sometimes,
But we need 4 L2s in phase.
4 L2s or 4 DCFCs or 2 each.
Do you have to have some sort of facility, like restrooms to have the fast chargers? Or is it?
For this next round, are you requiring that?
No.
One of them, so it's not, it was required first round, you had to have the restroom available. Yes.
Where did you get it? Is it from the contract? It says restroom. I haven't seen this.
They were, following the Drive Ohio criteria, and that was one of, when this first round started, that was.
Well, I have to look at your agreement, partner agreement, we call it. Maybe it's a 7, 8 pages, maybe it's something there, it says, restroom or something. But generally, if it's a L2, it should be somewhere which is close to the employment, so people can park there and go to work and come back 5, 6 hours later to take their car and go home, or somebody else comes. But fast charging is mainly, the purpose of is for a short visit of the site,
Right.
half an hour or something, charge it. That's why a little bit pay more, but then you go to next, that's the whole point, closer to free.
Right, it was.
I have to look at the partner agreement, see if there is something there, we can, we are having prepared the second, we are looking at this, and actually, last time I had a meeting with FHWA, there was I can't remember her name. She said she's gonna look at the partner agreement details and come back, and it's gonna let me know about her comments about the legal side of it. FHWA is looking into it as well. Any more, any questions, any comments, any?
Is it the same contractor for phase two, or will you be rebidding the work?
No, the contract for phase two is gonna start the new bid, new contract, we're gonna post, I mean, we were about to post it before January, sometimes in December, but the president order, we stopped it and we just now waiting for the 90 days, see what the executive order is gonna basically tell us what to do, then we go forward with that. But we were about to post it. We have got 10 more minutes if you wanna maybe tell us a joke or something. Already 10 minutes. But if not, thank you for coming and thank you for keep communicating with me and then with Noaka so we can, go. We are improving and as I can see now is more, we are coming to the same thing in terms of because this meeting is about the fees and so we are coming closer to what we are in the beginning when we were thinking of, to have Noaka was thinking of to have a uniform and we said it's going to be difficult, but I can see now with, this kind of meeting and exchanging the, information. So we are coming close to what we thought is going to be right. So not very close to, roughly the same few cents up and down. So it's going to be the same thing. Thank you very much for coming and thank you for your time after 3 days holiday now is, thank you.